Hello everybody, I'm Alfred, and the video we're about to watch is the movie trailer for the movie Dakota. Let's check it out.
This is Dakota.
Okay, so this is apparently like a family movie, about the dog.
You know, Dad always said the land will provide.
You see, dad always say the land will provide. You notice that that quote is the Lord will provide. That is a popular quote. The Lord will provide. And that is something that's biblical. That's something that's in the Bible, and that's something that is a popular quote. But you see, because of wokeness and the world and their principles, they would replace God with everything else. Oh, the universe says this. Oh, God's they'll replace God with things like it will come to you, or manifesting. They replace faith with manifesting and all kinds of things. Anything but God. When someone prays, they have cancer, God heals them. It is they fought cancer and they won cancer. How is that scientific? How do you fight cancer and then win? Does that mean that all the people who died of cancer did not fight cancer successfully? That is exactly what you are saying, that it is their fault that they did not fight cancer successfully. Interestingly, but that is the world we live in. Anything to avoid God, that is at least what the world pushes. That is why we as Christians, we must be in positions of influence and power, and we must push for our own ideology, because they are pushing for their ideology. It is who is in front that is going to push their ideology. There are a lot of people who are against Christians having money or churches having money. They are against mega churches and all of that. The thing is that Christians should have more money. It is a shame that a pastor will have a private jet and people are up in arms about it. How many jets does Warren Buffett have? How many jets do the climate change preachers, these leftist liberals that are always talking about climate change, how many jets do they have? Then in spite of the fact that there are hundreds of thousands of preachers around the world, out of a population of hundreds of thousands, if technically there are millions, I'm wrong. That is the reality. There are millions, if not tens of millions of pastors and those in the fivefold ministry. When it comes to pastors, evangelists, prophets, and all of that, they are in the millions, perhaps over 10 million. I would say hundreds of thousands. No, they are far beyond that. Then out of this, a population of millions of people, one or two people have private jets, and everybody wants to be open arms and say, oh, the whole thing, all pastors are about money or this. What is that? And first of all, they won't even look into how that came to be. And the reality of the matter is that it is not enough that, as a matter of fact, it is quite sad that out of a number of people in the profession, millions of people, only one or two or three have private jets. It's sad. Very, very sad. There should be more. The church doesn't have enough money, because you see, the reality of the matter is that if evil men have money, they're easy to do evil things. Look at Adolf Hitler. If the money and the power that Adolf Hitler had was in the hand of Mother Teresa, how different do you think the picture would have been? Think about what she would have done. She would have done outstanding amounts of charity, built outstanding amount of hospitals, done so much good around this world. But it was in the hands of, that kind of power and money was in the hands of Adolf Hitler. It was the Second World War. That's what it just turned into. So these are things you have to realize. When good people, when those who love God, those who put God first, those who listen to God, when they are in positions of power and authority, and the more money they have, the better it is for everyone. But if they don't have the money will still exist, and whose hands is it going to be in? The hands of children of darkness. And it's going to be a catastrophe for anyone and everyone.
The land will provide.
I have to help my mom save our farm. We can't lose it.
I serve with Clay. Came to bring you his things, man. It's Dakota, Clay's best friend.
The last thing we need is a dog, sir.
I promised that I would bring her home to you. Dakota, shoot. Sorry. Hey!
Dakota, heel. Heel. This is Dakota. She was my dad's. Oh.
All right, you just take it. You take it.
See you later.
That land right out there is our future.
You'll never take this far.
There's only room for one alpha dog in this town, and that's me.
This has been your plan the whole time.
If you're not gonna help me, stay out of my way.
You missing your dog there, Missy?
Gonna transfer Dakota to the pound. We don't have much time.
Alex is missing.
If Dakota's with Alex, then she is.
You know, so this is very interesting. There are different things unfolding at the same time. There's the storyline of the dog. There's the fact that, you know, perhaps, you know, the dad probably passed away and that is his dog, you know, coming, and it's like this guy made a promise to bring it back, you know, home or whatever, you know. So it's now the dog now represents a link between the daughter and the father that, you know, is probably dead, if I understand correctly from what I've seen so far in the trailer. Then there is, of course, the cop, which is an interesting choice for someone who has an ulterior motive to, you know, basically he's the villain of the story and he wants to take the land away from those people, you know. And this is a single mom, you know, with just one daughter, you know, trying to manage the farm. There's the elements of wokeness. It is not realistic for a single mom and her daughter, her single daughter, to manage a farm. It is unrealistic. But of course, in a woke world of feminism and women can do anything, somebody will come up with that stupid concept. It is extremely stupid. As a matter of fact, even one man, you know, even if it was a man, you know, a man on his own, then one child managing a farm, this kind of farm, it is crazy. It is not possible. Then much worse, you now bring it, you know, it's a single mom, you know, in the name of showing how strong a woman, it is very stupid. You know, in reality, situations like this, people like this, they seek to marry, even if it's a man, because, you know, running a farm like that, you have no fixed hours, you know, and you have to wake up early, and, you know, anything can happen at any time. So you're always, you know, in farmer mode, and you have to have hands on the farm, you know, to work it, you know, and to cater for the animals and all kinds of things that are happening. It's a company, it's a business. You know, it is not something that, you know, it is all lovey-dovey, you know, you bring a free spirits girl and all of that, and then they are just having fun learning about the farm. No more could be done because, you know, their feeding depends on that. And understand something about a lot of crops, you know, as well as animals. They have to grow. It is not like, for example, you work in a white-collar job, you know, you sell products every day, or perhaps, you know, you work in an ice cream shop, you know, you make the ice cream today, you sell it today. In the case of farming, you know, you plant something today, you have to wait for sometimes 5 years. Some, you know, there are some things that at the end of in harvest season, you know, it's that same year, you know, it take 1 year to grow. You know, there are different styles, but, you know, it is not like other professions or jobs. You know, it is very different, and it's very taxing. So all these things have to be considered. Then the aspect of choosing a cop, you know, of course we live in a time of all cops are bad, you know, vilifying cops. But that being said, you know, this is not the first time where they have chosen the cop to be a villain, but overdoing it or just doing it for the sake of the story is quite nasty, especially when all the cops in question are bad and, you know, they are no good cops, and that, you know, tries to push into that rhetoric of defund the police and the cops are bad. You know, it becomes now crazy, just like movies like the Last Charlie's Angel, where all the men in the movie were bad. It's just crazy. But let's keep watching.
You're safe.
Come on, Dakota.
She's a trained soldier.
This is what she does.
Go get it.
Okay, so the dog now helps to save someone's life from a burning fire.
Been a long time since we had a nice family dog.
Make some room in your heart for her.
You know, they could have worked on it a lot more, especially on the dog angle. You know, I like the fact that, you know, I won't, you know, perhaps, you know, I won't favor it or disfavor it. You know, they didn't go with the unrealistic angles of dog stalking, like most family movies that feature dogs who are based, you know, where the dog is one of the main characters. You know, they go with that angle of the dog can talk and the dog talks to other dogs, and then they put a lot of humor there. Sometimes they will now put some play between dogs and cats. You know, perhaps the family also owns cat, then there's that love-hate relationship, or getting along, not getting along, back and forth between the dog and the cat, or the dogs and the cats, you know, whatever mixture. But you know, this kinds of family movie, which also is, you know, cool. When you do that, you have to, you know, when you make it realistic, you know, the dogs can talk. There's also the human, you know, giving a lot of personality, and you know, get people to really feel like the dog understands and the dog is intelligent. And you know, it's kind of like The Littlest Hobo. The Littlest Hobo is the best example of a realistic dog. You know, many, I guess, Ring Ting Ting will be arguably the overall best, but Ring Ting Ting basically opened the door for this whole genre of dog lead characters, you know. But The Littlest Hobo is the best when it comes to it's realistic, but you can see the dog understands, as a dog has an ability to understand, you know, what is happening around it, and how the dog interferes and changes lives and actually helps people, you know. But it's kept realistic. It's not like the dog can talk and the dog, you know, does some certain things. It does things that you would expect, you know, well, a dog can do this, you know. So but in this case, there are a lot of extraordinary things that this particular dog doesn't do. And I think when it comes to the communication, you know, in the case of a dog that can talk, there's the communication, you know, we get to know more about the dog, and the audience gets to feel endeared with the dog when the dog can talk, and we get to know more about, you know, what the dog is thinking and its process, you know, from the situation of what the dog is saying and how it interacts with other dogs. But in this case, where you're going with the realistic, there has to be moments like the girl would have been perfect, you know, to, you know, really dwell on that discussions between her and the dog, trying to figure out the dog, so we can understand the dog through her eyes, or you know, through her relation, through her so much communication between her and the dog, you know, as limited as it would be, but not completely. It will be relatable, you know, as the dog cannot talk, you know, but it's more like dogs that you see around us. So some of us have ourselves. But you know, that being said, this it's a nice attempt. It's nice, you know. A lot more could have been done, and of course, you know, all stories will be better if it's told from a Christian perspective. You know, if you like to be a part of making Christian movies, you know, movies that will push forward the gospel and push the message of the gospel, reach out to us on Alfred.vip. We are looking forward to hearing from you. Thank you. God bless you. Also remember, if you haven't given your life to Christ, go to Alfred.vip, click the salvation prayer link in the main menu, and do at the page come out as a prayer of salvation. So that prayer telling God you want to become a Christian and give your life to Christ. Thank you, and God bless you.